Hello. Once again, I am participating in a contest. Hopefully, we will do it fast with a fast editorial. I am a bit tired with all these contests. So, last 24 hours, I have already spent 11 hours on competitive programming. And now 3.5 more hours on this contest. But it's fun, so let's go. English. We have an array of integers and the following operation any number of times. Choose any element. Yes, and move it to the 0. Let R be the minimum possible product of all the AIs after performing the operation. So you cannot change the sign of the product. So if the product is positive, yeah. Yeah, very interesting problem. Here we check the sign. We also need to print the shortest sequence of operations. So we need pair of int we need vector ints. Yeah, great. So if 0 or not positive, then we don't do anything. Else we return like 0, 0. Great. So here we do this. We print the size of the answer and print a.y. Test passed. we're given a string s of length n. Two operations: remove the first character or remove the second character. The number of distinct non-empty strings that can be generated by applying given operations on the initial string. So actually it looks like you have any suffix, and before that any one symbol. So any suffix and any one symbol. Is it true? Is it true that it is any suffix and any symbol? Can you make anything else? Yes, it's correct. So how to solve it? So let's make it easier, I think. Let's just make a set of chars. Five, 1, 9, 20. 50. Yes. Problem C. Array of length n. On ith day, we do exactly one thing. Where am I? 49th. Add 1 to each of the first BI elements. Or count the elements which are equal to their position. We add C to our score and reset the entire array to a 0 array of length n. Okay, the problem with this operation is that it makes the array non-increasing. Yeah, it's easy to see. So actually we will have no more than one good element. We have initially this array. Okay. Hey, this is more interesting now. This is more interesting now. So the basic answer, if we have only zeros, is like n half. D half. So the question is, can we do better? And unfortunately, sometimes we can. D is quite large. N can be quite large. B. I even cannot... What? So I'm given this number of BIs, actually. Nice, nice. Okay, so how to solve this nice problem? We actually need to simulate this process, but at some point we need to stop. We just need to stop and like do something else. So we have an array. We are given VIs. Yeah, so prefixes VIs. And each operation. So we can always make d over d minus 1 over 2. This is what we can always do. Yeah, so we firstly make some operations of type +1. This is 2000. Okay, this is easy. This is easy. Do I only need to print the maximum answer? Yes, I do. Okay, so I can just simulate it in linear time. So I read n AD, then I read V, and before that I read A. Then I write the answer. Actually, it will be no more than, so it will be int. So AVD. So how to do it? First of all, I need to say that answer is d minus 1 over 2. But then I try to simulate, no, not this one, but What? Ah, okay, I just simulate the process. So I do some operation n times. Do I do it really n times? No, I believe I need to do 2n times. So I try to calculate the current answer. So what is the current answer? It is d minus. So first of all, let's calculate the number of operations that they have. It is actually d minus I, but if a0 equals 0, if it equals 1, then let me think. Okay, we have three options. We have like three options. Okay, no, we definitely. So we want to make some plus ones, then we want to score, and then we always make plus one and score till the end. And I is the number of plus ones that we already did. Yeah, so actually it's always d minus I minus 1 over 2. So let's go through all numbers. So if aj equals j plus 1, then plus plus for uns. Then uns equals max of uns and currents. Then we make the operation. How do we do it? We do this, and we say that plus plus aj. 43015. We are given a permutation of odd integers from 1 to 2n minus 1, and permutation of integers from 0 to k minus 1. Then we make an array of length nk, which is defined as follows. It's pi times 2 to qi. Find the number of inversions in the array A. So let's draw it like a matrix. So in the ith position here and jth position here, we have pi times 2 to qi. So there are two kinds of inversions inside a row and between two different rows. Yes? Let's think about them. So inside a row, it's always the same, yeah, because this pi is just fixed. Yeah, this pi is fixed. So we need to calculate the number of inversions in pi and multiply it by what? By n. Okay, now we may assume that they are all sorted. Great. Now we need to calculate the number of inversions between two rows. Okay, this is hard. Or is it? Is it hard? Maybe it can be done in... Oh, it cannot. What? So I need to do it in linear time in n and k? Well, it's of course nice, but how to solve it? For example, let's assume that I have like 1 and 3 here. So here I have all powers of 2. And here I have all 3 times powers of 2. Oh, sorry. How to calculate the number of inversions? Ah, okay. So assume that we want to just make a merge sort. Yeah, how do we do the merge sort? We have we divide our matrix in 2 halves. We sort everything here, and then we need to combine them. So we take them row by row. No, not row by row, but like number by number. So what we would like to do is to take them pairwise, but I think we cannot. I believe we cannot. So let's sort all the odd numbers. Like 1, 3, 5. Assume that we have a 7 here. So if we have it here, like if we have it, okay, if we have it here, okay, everything here is settled, is already settled. So we only need to calculate the number of inversions with these numbers. So how many inversions are there between two rows? Between a P row and a Q row? So we are interested in the question. Assume that P is less than Q. Is it true that P times 2 to the power of K is less than Q times 2 to the power of L? So is it true that Q over P is greater than 2 to the power of K minus L? Yes, so actually we need to take the minimum power of 2, which is greater than Q minus P. And then we need to have at least this difference here. So if this difference is like D, then we need to take the number of pairs from here and from here such that this is at least D greater than this one. So assume that this is K. Then we need to calculate. Okay, for this element, we have D minus K plus D minus K minus 1 plus etc. plus 1. So it's D minus K times D minus K plus 1 over 2. Great. So this is some quadratic function. This is some quadratic function. Okay, I believe it can be done in like log square time, log cubes time. Oh man, it's a huge time to spend. Yeah, but we need to spend it. So let's assume that we're looking at 13. We know that a list of indices here. And for each of them, we know the number of inversions. So I need to spend a logarithm to iterate over this number key. Then I need to spend another logarithm to find this position. And another logarithm because I have a sorting. So in the end, it is kind of huge. So can I make 3 sorts? No, no, it seems I cannot. It's too slow. I need something quicker. Need something quicker. Okay, I can do it faster if I have 2 pointers. So not 2 pointers, but several pointers. So for each of these areas, like between k and k half, between k half and k fourth, I have like pointers which point to this place. Then I have 1 log for the sorting, and here I only spent 1 log for moving the pointers. Here and plus 1 log for iterating through them. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy and I don't like it, but do people really solve this problem fast? No, I believe they don't. I believe it's not a very popular problem. Okay, so we read n and k. Then we read vn and pi pn at qk. Okay, and here we need to print it modulo a number. Great. So first things first, we need to add to the answer the number of inversions in Q. Int ans equals 0. First of all, we need to make answer the product of 2 things. Find inversions in Q and times n. Modulo m. Okay, so if s plus 1 equals e, then return 0, because there are no inversions. After that, what is it? What is it? I don't want it. Can you remove it? What is this thing? Fine. So we need to find t constant n equals e minus s. Tm equals s plus n over 2. Lans equals find inversions of sm. Errans equals find inversions of m to e. Then intans equals sum lans runs m. And then we need to iterate over them with 2 pointers. Yes, so we have current s equals s and current m equals m. And while true, we do the following. So should we move the left pointer? We should move the left pointer if cm equals e or cs does not equal. I also need some extra array, I believe. Yeah, I need an extra array. Yeah, so while true, so if cm equals ee or cs is not equal to em and c okay. Okay, I failed everything that I could. So extra current equals extra start. So while true, if this is equal to e or this is not equal to m and current start is less than current ending, current medium, then we need to not do anything, and we just do plus plus cs. Else, we need to make uns a sum of uns and current start minus start modulo m and plus plus current m. Then we need to copy from. Also I need to do the following. I need to say that ec plus plus equals cs plus plus. Else cm ec plus plus equals cm plus plus. Yes, and we need then to copy from yes to ee to start and return answer. So this is the number of inversions in our array, and this is like basic answer. Let's look that we can calculate it correctly. What? I don't get it. So what? While true is not correct. So while EC is not EE. Still no? This is sad. Yeah, let's look again. So here we have an array of size 2. And first of all, they are from different arrays. Yes, they are from different arrays. Okay, in this array, there are 0 inversions. So the answer should have been 0. I like it so much. So actually, this was incorrect. I needed to do from the other side. So I needed to check the current m minus m. Zero. 0, 15, and 15 is 3 times 5. It should be 3 times 5. Yes, it is indeed 3 times 5. Okay, I agree. So now we need to calculate these strange inversions. Okay, I disliked doing it with iterators, so now I will do it with indices. So int bguns equals find big inversions of p dot of p 0 n. Okay. And we say that ans is the sum of two answers, and we need to only find this thing. So here we store the array. I would also like to have an extra array. Nice. So again, what do? We have a big table of our geometric sequences. So we sort them via the merge sort, and then we need to merge them. So again, let's say that we have elans equals find big inversions of P, EP, LMK. Then errans equals the same thing for MRK, and int mergeans equals find big merge of P, EP, LM, RK. Again, if L plus 1 equals R, return 0. So we need to find big merge, and finally we need to sum it up. Okay, find big merge. This is what we need. L M R K. So we have two halves. We need to merge all the numbers into one array. And actually, this is an easy part, and the hard part is to calculate the answer. So let's do it. So we have current L equals L, current R equals M, current equals L. So while current is less than R, we ask if P current L, if current L equals M, if current M equals R, or current L does not equal M and current L is less than P current L is less than P current M, then we choose that EP CC equals current L and plus plus CC plus plus current L. Else EP CC equals not current L but P current L equals P current M plus plus CC plus plus current M. And also we need to update answer in both cases and return this answer. And initially the answer is 0. And now we think what we do. So again, assume that we got some number, like for example 15. Then numbers from 8 to 13, like from 9 to 13, it doesn't matter. They should be taken with coefficient k minus 1 over 2. Then these numbers, like we are asking how many pairs are there in which this number is greater than this number. For example, here it's 18. So how many such pairs? And the answer is this. So here it will be k minus 1, k minus 2 over 2, etc. I don't know. This is not an easy task. This is not an easy task. Well, actually, I really don't know how to solve it. I don't know how to solve it because... Well, I failed. I don't know how to solve it. So let's think again. So I still can do it in log cube time, but this is too slow, isn't it? Maybe I need something like parallel binary search. If I only knew what it is. If I only knew what it is. Okay, maybe I know what it is. So let's make some auxiliary function. Calculate step answer. So what do we have in the step answer? We have an array V. We have a left and the right border. We have the current maximum number Y. And we have number K. So there are two cases. First case is that the answer for the left and for the right part is the same. How to check it? To check it, we need to divide so K by VL. Check that it is same as K over VR minus 1. But it's not quite correct because we don't need to check this equality, but rather that built-in CLZs are the same. Yeah, for example, let's take number 19. So all numbers from 10 to 18 are fine for us. Yes? Are they fine for us? Yeah, in all of them, it is just Yes. And then I guess from 5 to 9, yeah, because this over this is 3, but this over this is already 4. So this number. Yeah, we need to calculate CLZ. So if it is equal to this, then we just return product of R minus L and the answer for left CLZ modulo M. How do we calculate it? How do we calculate it? I guess we simply... So first of all, we need to calculate the number of bits. So we need 31 minus left CLZ. And then we need this number here. Do we? Yes, so we take product of k minus b plus 1 times k minus b over 2% m. And also this should depend on are we on top or the bottom. So if on top, then we return this one. But else we need to return something else. And after that we need to return sum of two answers. L plus R over 2 yk top v L plus R over 2 ryk top. Ans is sum of lans and runs. And return ans. Okay, and here we need to add calculate step answer from vector p from m to cm. Y is PCL minus 1 and K is K and top is what? So we need to use this formula if 19, our current number, is in the bottom part. So I believe it is false here. Okay, and here we need to print true. But here we need to write L and CL and CM minus 1 a true. Okay, so let's do it easier. So if top, if not top, then we will return something else. We will return calculate step answer VLRYK not top, and we will subtract it from something that I will write right now. So it will be the difference between this number and so let's see how many numbers we have. We have R minus L times K numbers here and times K numbers here. So this is the total number of pairs. So we need product of KKM and product of R minus L. I need raz, because this is difference in Russian. Разность. So here I just do it like this. Yeah, yeah. So I believe I have written it. Of course it will fail, yeah, because it's impossible to write a recursive function from the first try. Yeah. So if R equals what? What is L and R? 2 and 2? Okay, if L equals R, return 0. This is really easy. 1531 0. No. It's not like this. The small answer 0. Yeah, the big answer is supposed to be 9, but in our case it's 15 for some reason. Well, it's better than nothing. Let's see. So P is 3, 5, and 1. Okay, I believe that what we needed to do here is to see that it is maximum of this number in 0. Maybe. Maybe we should have done it. It didn't help. What? It didn't help? Okay, I understand why it could not help. But like, I don't like it. I don't like it. So, L is 0, R is 3, M is 1. So in left part there should be no inversions. Yeah, in left part there are no inversions. In the right part there are 3 of them, which is a huge number. So why is it 3? It said that we have like 5, 10, 15, and here we have 1 or 20. 1, 2, 4, and there should be actually 5, 10, and 1, 2. There should be 4 inversions. Shouldn't there? Shouldn't it? Shouldn't there? Let's try again. So now we have L1 and R3. L1 and runs is 0, so we need to find a big merge. So this should not change the answer. We need to remove this line. Answer is 0. Yes, and here answer, what is actually... So it will now become 3, but it should be 4. Actually, it should be 4. So now top is false, so we need to subtract. So K. Okay, this thing is 4, so this should be 0. This is what should be 0. So left CLZ is 30 and right CLZ is 30. They're equal, so we calculate B, which is 1. And for some reason, yeah, maybe it should be 32 minus left CLZ. Okay, this is kinda better, but still very bad. Let's again look at the big inversions. What is L and R? 1 and 3. 0 and 0. Again. How is it 10? It is 4 here. Yes, this is fine. This should be 4. So, okay, in left part this is 0, and right part this is 4. And now we merge two arrays. 1, 4, 5, 10, and 3, 6. And it dares say that there are 6 pairs. I believe I can find only 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. No more pairs. Yeah, that's it. That should be it. Again? Okay, let's look. We're not really proud. people, we will just look at it. So first of all, we have what? Why did I copy? Ah, I didn't copy during the merge. I didn't copy during the merge. So I need to copy p begin ep begin plus l, ep begin plus r, and p begin plus l. It's even worse. It's even worse. Let's do it again. So we have 0 and 4, and this should be 6. And this should be 5. I mean, okay. So first of all, it found this pair 1, 2. And the answer should be 0 now. And this is 0. Then it found this pair, and the answer should be 4. And this is 4. Then it found 5, 10 at the bottom, and it should find only one pair. But it found 7. Why did it find 7? Let's look. It found 7 because it found 7. Ah, B is 0 and K is 2. Okay, I believe this should be not top. Now it's even worse. What's happening? It's even worse. So let's think. Let's think calmly. We have 5, 10. And here we have 3, 6. This over this has CLZ of 0. 0. Stop. What is K? I shouldn't divide K, I should divide Y. This is the key problem in my approach. That I divide the wrong thing. Okay, now I don't understand why it shouldn't be a top instead of exclamation mark top. But I'll take that. Let's submit. It should be obvious that I didn't like this problem much. Is my solution correct? Is it actually correct? No. This is not correct because log square seems to be too slow. Oh my god. It's such a strange problem. And Tourist obviously solved it everything in 35 minutes. Yeah. Yes, please. And I can solve it in an hour. Is it a normal situation? Do I need some pragmas? But I already have some pragmas, don't I? It's not even really bad. So if I multiply by 400, it should be fine. But for some reason, it's really slow. Maybe because it's much slower than 400. But why? So is it really log cube? I really spent like n log cube on this problem. The problem is really much easier than E and F. It should be, because everyone solved ED. Maybe F can be solved in really 15 minutes. It's a constructive problem. We have n sticks of lengths Li. We need to make a tree of diameter d. What? Okay, this seems like some sort of a backpack. Okay, so what do we need? We need to arrange several sticks. Okay, first of all, let's sort allies. Let's sort allies and put the maximum one. And notice that there is a path which connects ln and ln-1. There is always such path which connects them. So if d is greater than, is at least these two numbers, then it's okay. But if it is not, then this is sad. Okay, so first things first. If the answer is at least ln plus ln-1 is less than this sum, then the answer is definitely no. Yeah, because we can always connect these two edges. Okay, the second thing, so let's assume that d is at least ln plus n plus ln-1. Then let's make a backpack and try to connect to make the sum of d. If it is impossible, the answer is no. So let's assume that now the backpack worked. So we have several edges which connect into this nice diameter. Then, what then? Then if there is ln here, then we won. Why? Because we can put ln in the end. This thing is at least ln-1, so we can put all the remaining edges here. So this is yes. If ln is in some way to produce the diameter. Also, even if there is ln-1, then we also won. This is also yes. Because, again, we can put everything here. No, we cannot put everything here. No, we cannot put everything here. And that's the problem. So actually, the only problem left is that maybe we have constructed some diameter, but there is no way to put ln there. Because no matter where you put it, both sides are greater. So in particular, if ln is greater than D, if 2ln is at least D, then no way. And in particular, what we need to do is we need to divide it in such a way that there is a subgroup with some, at least D minus D over, there is a subgroup of length at least ln, and the other subgroup is also of length at least ln. So if we can do it, then we won. So is there an answer in which both halves are size at least ln? So some strange backpack with additional condition. Okay, I believe these participants had Kukarek, where Kukarek is a solution which they didn't prove. It's not nice to have a Kukarek in a contest, but what can you do? If we really need to solve this problem, maybe we'll need to make something proven. So what I like to try is to what? Okay, I don't like it anymore. So again, the question is, we have several numbers. We need to construct number D such that there are two parts, both of them should be at least ln. Okay, the only problem is that we cannot. In particular, that would mean that L1 so there is some sort of number s, so such that s is less than ln, but s plus L1 is too big, so that if you subtract it from G, this is again less than ln. So let's sum these things. So D minus L1 is less than 2ln. So L1 is greater than D minus 2ln. Actually, it is at least this plus 1. Plus 2. Well, since I don't like this problem, I will not solve it this strange way. It's not that I don't like this problem, but I don't like the solution that seems intended. So we need to speed up this one. And I have no idea why it's so slow. No idea why it is so slow. I can of course make this constant reference, but can it change anything? I believe no. Okay, let's think again. We perform a merge sort. So we add some number. If we do it, we need to calculate the number of inversions with the previous array. Okay, maybe it can speed up a lot. Let's get rid of these divisions. Okay, so actually, instead of calculating the big thing with the smaller ones, I will calculate the small things with the bigger ones. So let's replace this with calculate with bigger. So now we have P and not M and CM, but rather CM and R. And here we need to calculate step answer with bigger CL and M. Okay, I believe now we need to do it vice versa. So if it is top, then we need to reverse it. Great. Now if L equals R, we return 0. And now instead of these things, we will... we still need to divide. We still need to divide the other way. Well, I don't like it. I don't like it. I didn't optimize it. I really didn't optimize it at all. So my solution is unfortunately n log cube. Okay, let's... I don't know. I don't want to add pragmas thoughtlessly. Problem D is a killer. And what frightens me is that it could appear at, for example, binary round, in which case I would get like minus 300 racing points. But we cannot get rid of these divisions. They are important. I believe they're important. Okay. Okay, this should slow it down, but let's see what happens. It should slow it down, but let's see what happens. So I want, instead of this number, to take some sort of lower bound. Yeah, so I want to take the first point such that this is at least L plus R over 2. L plus R over 2. So I take... So I want this number to be at least M. Okay, let it be M. Then I really want just this number to be at least M. Yes? Yes. So I want this number to be at least MVI. So I take left CLZ plus right CLZ plus 1. No, this is a smaller number and this is the bigger number. No, this is the smaller number. This is the bigger number. So I want... So I want... Wait, what? No, I want the first element which is at most M. This is what I want. I want the first element which is at most M. Not at least M. And to find the first element which is at most M, I need a last element such that this is greater than M. So I need a last element such that this is at least M plus 1. So I need the last element such that y is at least vi M plus 1. So I need the first minus 1 element such that y is greater than vi M plus 1. And actually, I would like to have +1 here. So the first element such that this is true. Okay, so I just take this. No, I take 64 minus this, I guess. Mm-hmm. The amount of time is low. Okay, let's look at some examples because I don't understand really I don't understand anything. Okay, for example, 3 and 7. Then 7/3 is 2. And actually, this is even greater than 2. So all these numbers from 7 to 11, they are like this. So in all of them, CLZ is 30. So 32 minus CLZ, which is the number of non-zero bits. Not non-zero, but except leading zeros, is 2. And this is the minimum number such that 3 times 2 to the power of 2 is at least 7 and 11. Great. So I have several numbers for which, for example, this is 2, for which this is 1, this minimum power, and several numbers for which it is no, several numbers for which it is 2, and several numbers for which it is 1. I don't want with bigger. I don't know why I want with smaller. Okay, let's continue. So let's choose. For example, let's fix number 23. Yes, it will have 2 with some numbers like 9. Yeah, because 23/9 is 2. But here we'll have some numbers like 13. And here we will have 11. So what is the border between them? So I want the first number which has mid CLZ. I have the first number which has mid-cell z. To find it, I need to shift it by mid-cell z. I will have, in this case, 11. And I want strictly more than that. Do I? Yes, I want strictly more than that. So int m is upper bound of v.begin plus l, v.begin plus r, y shifted by mid-cell z, minus v.begin. Will it work? Or not? It worked. It can be even slower than it was, but let's try. There is nothing worse than not to try. Okay, it's obviously tail on pretest 8. Maybe on pretest 7 it was even slower. Ah, we cannot know. Okay, I concede. Let's just explain your problems ABC and we go home. Problem A. We have an array. We can perform the following operation several times, maybe 0. Choose any element and move it towards 0. Maybe leave it in place, maybe move it exactly in 0. So let R be the minimum possible product. Find the minimum number of operations. This is not a hard problem. So notice that you cannot change a sign of any number. So you can make a number 0 always, but you cannot make it, for example, if it was greater than 0, you cannot make it less than 0. And if it was less than 0, then you cannot make it greater than 0. So the product, you can make it 0, but you cannot make it change sign. Also, absolute value of all numbers that you use, they only decrease. So again, you cannot increase the absolute value of your product, only decrease. So there are two cases. If the product is greater than 0, then you should just take a 0 which is not 0 and make it 0. The second case is the product is 0. Then you shouldn't do anything. And finally, product is less than 0. Then you again shouldn't do anything because you cannot make it smaller. You can only make its absolute value smaller, but this would make the product itself bigger. So you only need to distinguish between these two cases between this case and this case. And here you should output 0, and here you should output 1 and 1, 0. How to find the sign of product? The naive method of just reading all these numbers and calculating their product, this is wrong, because this would overflow your... This will overflow definitely your integer type. Instead, you need to only look at the sign. The easiest way is to just store the number sign, which is -1, 0, or 1, and for example, you multiply it by your number, you iterate over all numbers, and immediately after that, you move your sign in the segment -1 to 1. So if it is negative, then you make it -1. If it is positive, you make it 1. And if it is inside this segment, you don't do anything. There are many other ways. For example, in my solution, I stored bool 0 and bool non-negative. And initially this was false and this was true. And I worked with them. Not a hard way to do. So that's the problem A. Problem B. We have a string. We can remove the first character of the string or the second one. You can do it any number of times. Our task is to find the number of distinct non-empty strings that can be generated by applying the given operations. How to solve this problem? Notice that at any moment, all symbols but one is the suffix of initial string. Yeah, let's prove it. In the beginning, if you have the whole string s, then all symbols but the first one are indeed the suffix of the initial string. Now assume that we make an operation. If we remove the first symbol, then this is indeed the suffix of the whole string. If we remove the second symbol, then again, this thing will be the suffix of the whole string. So our invariant is true. Moreover, if you have any suffix of string and one more symbol, or 0 symbols if you want, but let's stick with one. If you have any suffix which is not the whole string and any other symbol in the prefix, you can get this string. How to get this string? First of all, you only remove the first elements. Then when it became the first one, you stop removing the first elements and you start removing the second elements. And now you have the string in question. So for all suffixes s and okay, let me call it r instead of s, and any symbol c in s with removed r, you can get c r, and only such strings we can get. So let's calculate how many distinct strings we can get. To calculate them, let's calculate the number of strings of length k. Yeah? So let's fix the length of our string. The last k-1 symbols are just the suffix of this string. And the first symbol can be any of these ones. So actually, the number of such strings is just the number of different symbols in first n-1 n+1 minus k symbols. So you look at first n+1 k symbols, and the number of different symbols here is the number of ways to complement this suffix with one symbol in the beginning. So the solution can be as follows. You have a set of chars. You iterate over all symbols. What do? You add, let me call it B, for example. B, insert si, and ans plus equals b.size. And you do it for the first symbol, the second symbol, etc., and even for the last symbol, because the empty suffix is also allowed. even if the suffix is empty, you still complement it with exactly one character, so the resulting string will be non-empty. The other way is, instead of set, you store like array of int of 256 or 26, and you increment a si if you see a symbol si. And if it was 0 and it became 1, then you say that plus plus distinct, and after that you say that arms plus equals distinct. Notice that actually you can do it in int. You should not, it is not required to use long, because the maximum possible answer is 10 to the 5th power times 26. Even a bit less, but this is an upper bound. You cannot have your size of set b greater than 26, because this is the size of the alphabet. Okay, and then problem C. Watering an array. We have an array, we can either add 1 to the first pi elements of the array A, or count the elements which are equal to their position. At each point you only choose one of these two things, and you do it. So you need to make all these choices and D choices, and you need to find the maximum score you can achieve. The score is the sum of these calculation results, where the calculation result is the number of elements which are equal to their position. And after that, the array is reset to zeros. So first of all, let's solve this problem. Solve for all zeros. So if we only have zeros, then notice that there is no reason to make the second operation, because none of these elements is equal to their positions. All of these are inequalities. Okay, also notice that if you make any number of iterations of first kind of operations, they lead to nothing good. What I mean by that is that notice that the array will always be non-increasing. So assume that it is non-increasing in the beginning, it is all zeros. Assume that it is non-increasing in the middle of the process. So if you add 1 to some prefix, this part is still non-decreasing, this pair is still non-decreasing, and even non-increasing, sorry. This part is non-increasing, this part is not now strictly decreasing, and this part is again non-increasing. Okay. So this means that you need your non-increasing array to have as many indices equal to their positions as possible. So as many elements equal to their positions as possible. Notice if you have at least 2 such indices, then they form an increasing pair. And this is not allowed by our condition. Since it is not non-increasing, you cannot have 2 such indices. This means that actually this calculation, this counter, will be always at most 1. You cannot get more than 1. So it's intuitively obvious that when you get answer 1, you need to immediately stop and just get the cache. So add 1 to your score. Strictly speaking, so since you don't get anything from only zeros, this means we don't start with operation count, which I call the second operation, and don't do 2 second operations in a row. These both things don't make sense because they both include making the second operation with a zero array. So the best that you can hope for is d minus 1 over 2 floor. Yeah, you can only get 1 unit at a time. You only can do it with the second operation, but you cannot make many second operations. Only each next, how is it called? Каждая вторая. Every second. How is it called? Okay, I don't know. We can make the even operations like 2, 4, 6, etc. give us a unit, but we cannot get more than that. Why we can get this number? Because if we alternate the first operation and the second operation, then after each first operation, we will have the array of the following form. Several ones and then several zeros. And there is this one, which is equal to its position. So the very first operation of the first type always gives us an array with the score of 1. So after that, we can run the second operation and get +1 to our score. So the optimal answer with only zeros is this one. What should we do with not all zeros? We have some array. So obviously we need to make several +1s, maybe 0. Then we need to count and add to score. Then we get an array of all zeros, and after that we know the optimal strategy. So the only thing that we don't know is the optimal number of +1s. But we can just iterate over them. So let's iterate. We choose some number of +1s and assume that we already calculated this array. Now we add 1 more +1s. So with operation v, so let me say that these v's are from 0 to k minus 1. In this case, our current and the number of ones is also 0 index. So this is 0th one, this is the first one, this is the second one, this is the first one, this is the third one, and we are now looking at ith one. Then we take v i%k, and we can, in linear time, just add this number of ones to our array A. And then we can, in linear time, calculate the number of indices which are equal to their elements, like this. So we can calculate the current ans. Then we also spent one more operation on counting. So this is the number of operations. This is the number of points that we get. And this is the number of operations that we spent. Now the remaining d minus I minus 1 operations will be spent on this optimal strategy, which will give us this number of points. So the total answer is d minus I minus 2 over 2 floor. In particular, we can always take I equals 0 and thus far get car 0 plus d minus I minus 2 over 2. So notice that it is at least car minus n. So if I is at least 2n, then this is strictly greater than this one, in non-strictly. So this means that we only need I at most 2n. If we get I at least 2n, then the loss here cannot be compensated by this car, because this car is at most n, this car 0 is at least 0, but here you have already lost at least n by having such a big I here. So actually, you never need such big I that as 2n, so you only iterate over I from 0 to 2n minus 1. The complexity will be small because you try n iterations, during which you add n ones, at most n ones, then you n times look at your array and check if an element is equal to its position, so times n, and you add this number in O of 1 and you relax your answer in O of 1. So the total complexity is O of n squared, which is not big. Also, you need to spend O of k time to read the input, but that's it. So if the input is already read into our memory, then there is no such addend here. Okay, I believe that's it. Thank you for your attention, and don't be like me on such a problem set, unable to solve the problem D.